Greetings, everyone. I have a lot of questions to ask in this video. And if you have any question, you can also put that in the comment section. I often get very clear dreams about individuals in Jamaica or events, especially political leaders. But it takes a certain kind of courage to be able to come out and just, put it out there like that, to call people's name and so on and so forth. I've shared in the past a dream I had with a politician who is heavily involved in the trafficking of young people. And I have had vision seeing this big rotunda with all these political leaders from around the world who are engaged in some very nefarious situations. But I've never really called their name because I have to use judgment. I love Jamaica. And when I go to visit, it's not just fear. I think it's common sense. But there are individuals, such as the person I'm going to be asking questions about, that are unafraid. And I'm thinking when it comes to crime and violence, because of fear, people get away with doing all kinds of terrible things. And so those who are able to come out and call names and, put it out there like that in that, as they would say in Jamaica, brawling way, we can't help but, look at these ones and, give them credit. Now, the person I'm thinking of now is Sir P. And I have more questions than, comments that I could make about him because I don't know this person. First and foremost, he is shrouded in darkness. You don't see his face. You just hear his voice, and even his voice is altered. But the thing is, Sir P is he comes out and he would say things a year earlier and then it's manifested. I think I remember an episode where he talks about the election and he could predict how, what the percentages were going to be and who was going to win and who wouldn't win. I'm paraphrasing here, but it was so accurate. It was uncanny. It was like someone who is a psychic who is able to see the future. And I don't see him, I've never heard of him make any claims that he's a psychic. I don't always watch his show, but once in a while when, something is trending, I would check to hear his opinion on this. This individual, has coined so many expressions, like not that he made the word unicorn, but he would apply that to explain the kind of person who is referred to as a unicorn. Or, he talks about the 86 or 87s or whatever. All these expressions are very unique to him explaining, as he breaks down the crime or violence or the individuals behind these, terrible crime in Jamaica. My question is this: if Sir P knows all of this, then why is there so much crime in Jamaica? If he's able to name names, if he's able to tell, talk about who the gangs are and who is responsible for what, and, political people who are tied to crime, families and things like that, why is there so much crime in Jamaica? Because if, he's presenting himself as just this regular person and he's able to tell you all these things, if you have all that intel, why has Jamaica become this a criminal haven? In my opinion, Sir P is a police officer, retired or otherwise, for people to come and give him all this information, because how else would you know all of this? Now I'm thinking something is just really off, because I know how Jamaican government works, how the police or the military works. So if someone has access to those kind of information, especially when we're talking about justice in Jamaica, the justice system itself. If this guy has all this information and he can say things a year ahead or months ahead of the thing unfolding, what can we make of that? So I don't want anyone to come to this video and start to say, oh, you're saying bad things about Sir P. Do you want the criminals to go, you know, um, doing their own thing and not be exposed? Absolutely not. But if exposing these individuals is going to help to cut crime in Jamaica, that is wonderful. But if it's for entertainment, it's for people who have this insatiable appetite to know all these things, just to hear all these things, I just have a problem with that. So I am sure the justice system, I'm sure the police officers, I'm sure the politicians would know of Sir P. I see sometimes when the patron names go up, I see people that I know that contribute to his platform. But if the information that is being put out there, is it being utilized by the police? That's a question I want to know. Because there's no point in exposing crime and violence and all these horrible things in Jamaica or horrible people in Jamaica, and nothing is going to be done about it. What would be the point of that? So, if Sir P is serving the interests of Jamaican people by exposing these criminal acts or criminality in the island, and it's leading to the arrest and incarceration of criminals, or even better, to prevent these crimes. What an awesome job. Excuse me, he would be doing. I really do think that people are afraid to speak, because the truth of the matter is, when people expose crime and violence in Jamaica, they become targets. And particularly because the police officers will also repeat to these criminals what was said to them and who said it. Do you think Serpi is doing a good job? Who do you think he is? Is he just this lone guy who's just exposing crime and violence in Jamaica? Or is he a police officer or someone who would have access to this? And should he be subpoenaed in these court cases where he has all this knowledge? Should he be forced to tell what he knows? He knows everything and often is very accurate with his prediction. It's almost scary. And that's what leaves me with all these questions. If you know so much, why is there so much violence in Jamaica? If he's exposing so much, is the justice system listening? Are the police officers using his intel? Tell me what you think, everyone. Stay blessed.